Cold air continues to spill into the region. How long it sticks around in my first alert forecast.
COVID takes over the classroom. More districts are responding to staffing shortages and canceling school.
And we're live in Jefferson City with team coverage after Governor Mike Parson's State of the State address. This is KOMU 8 News at 6.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Today, Governor Mike Parson gave his State of the State address, and new tonight at 6, we're hearing from lawmakers from both parties about where the state of Missouri stands right now. Good evening, I'm Emily Spain.
And I'm Noah Klein. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm live here in Jefferson City, where, as MU just said, a few hours ago, Governor Mike Parson gave his State of the State address. And the governor really had, of course, a lot of positive things to say about the state of Missouri right now. He celebrated that budget surplus where a lot of that money, remember, comes from the federal government and funding during the pandemic. He also celebrated his administration's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, coming up in just a minute, I'll dig deeper into the numbers he cited. But first, I want to let you know I'm not alone out here. We've got live team coverage from across the capital city. Our reporters have been talking to lawmakers, both Democrats and Republicans, about their response to the governor's speech today and also their thoughts on the current state of Missouri and where it stands. But I want to start with one of Governor Mike Parson's main message, and again, celebrated his administration's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. I'll give you some points here to look at the main information from his speech in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic. He says his administration prevailed by focusing on fairness in distributing the vaccine. He also doubled down on what he calls common sense approach to government. He reminded the legislature that Missouri was first to cut off unemployment benefits during the pandemic, saying it was the right move at the right time. But here's what the governor says the state's biggest success was.
Today, one of our greatest successes is the fact that more than 94% of Missourians 65 and older, our most vulnerable population, have received protection from the virus. And nearly 75% of Missourians 18 and older have received a vaccine.
A quick fact check on those numbers from Governor Mike Parson. Take a look. This is the state's own dashboard for vaccinations. Those statistics are correct when you look at people who have at least one dose of the vaccine or they've started the vaccination process. But we crunched the numbers and found that if you look at people fully vaccinated, the percentages are lower. About 85% of seniors are over 65 are fully vaccinated, and about 68% of those over 18 are fully vaccinated. Continuing our live team coverage, let's go live now to KOMU8's Leah Vredenbrett, who talked to Democratic lawmakers and leadership about the current budget surplus.
Noah,
Leah, what'd they tell you?
House Minority Leader Crystal Quaid held a press conference with her fellow Democrats on their reactions to Governor Parson's speech. When asked about the budget that Governor Parson highlighted, Representative Quaid said it does support some of her party's policies, such as teacher and state employee pay, but nothing is finalized yet.
Even though this is a budget that, we were, from what we can tell so far, again, I haven't read the whole thing, that there are a lot of things in line with what we've been asking for from the Republican governor. We are absolutely concerned about this stuff getting all the way through.
Representative Quaid also said she wanted to hear Governor Parson talk about Medicaid, which he did not mention by name in his speech. She did say, however, the budget supports Medicaid. Live in Jefferson City, Leah Vredenbrett, KOMU 8 News.
Okay, Leah, thank you so much for following up on that. Continuing our live team coverage, I want to go to KOMU8's Elise Schoenig. Elise, you spoke with a top Republican lawmaker from Boone County. Did he agree with Governor Mike Parson's message?
Senator Caleb Rowden told me he supports Governor Parson's message from earlier today about his stance on COVID-19 mandates, which is that he does not support them. Governor Parson earlier today says that he believes those decisions are best when they're left in the hands of local representatives, and Senator Caleb Rowden told me that he thinks these are not an effective stop to the spread of COVID-19.
You can be pro-vaccine and be anti-vaccine mandate. We've seen in other countries and even in other states, that these really broad mandates just don't work. If we've learned anything about COVID, there's not a lot you can do to keep people from getting it.
Another Republican lawmaker I spoke to today also told me she does not think an effective fight against COVID-19 includes those vaccine mandates. Reporting live from the state capitol, I'm Elise Schoenig, KOMU8 News.
Okay, Elise, thank you very much. And another big piece that might get lost in today's events, it's really Governor Mike Parson unveiling his budget for the next fiscal year. Remember, it now goes to the legislature. It's out of his hands. They can modify it, change it for however they see fit before it gets finalized. Complete coverage of a busy day live in Jefferson City today. That can be found right now on KOMU.com. Emily.
Okay, thanks Noah and team. We're going to send it now over to Matt Beckwith with the latest of your forecast. Hey, Matt.